Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Callahan, and I am running for Congress against a 20-year career politician that we know as Kurt Schrader. I recently moved to Oregon City, and I just could not. I need to get back on the horse. I need to get back on the horse. We had a great run against Ron Wyden this last election cycle. 651,000 Oregonians across this great state of ours voted against Ron Wyden. That means we have a shot, ladies and gentlemen. We have a shot to win this thing. I was comparing my numbers in Kurt Schrader's districts with the numbers that my friend Colm Willis got last time, as well as my own numbers. And we're within a few thousand votes of actually winning District 5 from Kurt Schrader and actually taking our country back, making Oregon red again. My website is up right now. It's at callahanfororegon.com, same as it was last time. Prayers. I'm going to be traveling around the 5 districts in Marion County, Lincoln County, Tillamook County, Polk County, and Clackamas County, spreading the message of freedom, spreading the message to support our president, because right now, the congressmen that are back there just can't seem to get the job done. We sent them to Congress. We elected a Republican president. We elected a Republican Congress, and we have a majority in the Republican Senate. But they just can't even seem to get the job done, like repealing Obamacare. We have a 20-year career politician, my opponent, that's been in the Oregon legislature, that's been in the House, that supports abortion. I don't want to see any more babies killed, personally. I have 2 daughters myself, and I want them to have kids of their own themselves. It is time for my opponent, Kurt Schrader, to come back to Oregon, and for us to get a true constitutional conservative to go up to Washington, D.C. and get the job done. I believe in the Lord God Almighty, and I believe He's going to be guiding me on this path. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark Callahan. I am running for Congress to replace Kurt Schrader. Let's get to work. Thank you.
All right, well, thanks for having me today. And I want to honor the veterans out there. How many guys are veterans? Thanks for your service. I served in the Army, and my son's currently in Kuwait. It's 120 degrees every day over in Kuwait. And he's been there since February. We're hoping to have him home for Christmas. He's going to turn 21 in Kuwait, so he's doing great. So, you know, years ago, the problem with the salmon on the coast, when these guys would come in there and go, there's too many sea lions out there. Right? Let's just, I mean, there's 400, if you did a study on how many sea lions we should have on the coast here, there's 400% more sea lions than should be on the coast. That's what's happening to the salmon. We need to have open season on sea lions, right? And get this, here's an Oregon product for you. California sea lions made in Oregon. Gloves, hats, boots. I mean, it would sell. Okay, so that's one of the ideas. I explain myself this way to people. I'm a Christian, constitutional, conservative, Republican, and in that order. Okay, so schools are failing in Oregon because businesses aren't paying their fair share. Okay, and I said this on the campaign trail 2 years ago. Schools are failing in Oregon because the Oregon Education Association won't turn loose of their failed, unaccountable monopoly on our school system to allow teachers to teach and for alternative forms of teaching, private schools, online schools. They allow private schools, they allow charter schools, but they cap the number of kids that can go there. So one of my ideas is a voucher system. If we give parents a voucher that's 70% of what the state is currently spending, and let the parents choose where their kids go to school, there's a 30% savings immediately built into that system. And they can leave their kids in public school if they want. But right now, if you're a teacher and you're teaching in this public school system and you're looking at the PERS system and it's funded, it's only 71% funded, and you're a fairly young teacher in that system, do you think you're really going to get to retirement? No. You're not getting there. What I'm looking for is there's a lot of teachers who are trained who are having to put up with all the federal mandates and just anti-Christian garbage that they teach in schools, that they have to just say, hey, I checked my religion at the door and I got to teach you stuff. If we had a private system where parents and teachers actually could have control of that money and decide where their kids go to school, we could have prayer in school, in a private school system. We could have, you know, morality taught. We could have the Constitution taught.
Wow,
you know, I mean, all the things that we value, we could choose where our kids go to school. But there's an automatic savings there. 53% of the state of Oregon is managed by the federal government. Okay, BLM, U.S. Forest Service. That should not be. Okay, as Oregon is a sovereign state, we should be in control of our. And the problem in the past has been that whenever we would try to sell a forest package to a timber company, it'd wind up in court, in federal court, and we'd lose. If Oregon got control of all those forests, and you can see how they manage a forest. How many guys have driven over Highway 20 over the pass? See that forest up there? What forest?
Ghost forest.
Right? It burned in 2003. The sticks are still standing up there. Every time I drive through there, I get mad. So states' rights. In the state of Oregon, I would like to see 36 constitutional sheriffs. And a sheriff that's a constitutional sheriff, they understand that they are the chief law enforcement officer in the county, and they have let the federal government know, the BLM, the U.S. Forest Service, and any other federal agency, including the IRS, that if they come into their jurisdiction and they want to serve a warrant, they need to go through the sheriff's office first so he knows what's going on. He's the protector of the citizens of that county because he is the chief law enforcement officer. My good friend up in Grant County, Glenn Palmer, okay? The U.S. Forest Service, they were drawing guns on people that had campfires, camping, and checking. I mean, so he wrote a letter to the U.S. Forest Service and he said, listen, you show me constitutionally where you have the right to exercise any police powers in the county. He's still waiting for a reply, and they stopped doing that. Right? So that sheriff in that county, Grant County, that's just north of Hardy, you know what they call that county? It's called a UN-free zone. So you can't just go there and do whatever. The sheriff is going to protect you. So he's been elected over and over and over again. We need guys like him all through the state. But we need number one thing we need in Oregon is jobs, right? And we need to control the spending. The spending is out of control because PERS is out of control because we have an education system that is
49th in the nation.
You know why it's 49th in the nation in high school graduation rates? You know why it's 49th? Because Idaho doesn't report. Otherwise, we'd be 50th. Right? So a few years ago, we got up to 47th, and we were really excited because we beat out Alabama and Mississippi. But now we're back down to 49th. And the only reason we're 49th is because Idaho doesn't report. Why doesn't Idaho report? Because they don't want to. They understand what their rights are, the federal government, and they don't let the federal government run their education system. No accountability. Okay, so here's Kate Brown's base, Oregon Education Association and the Public Employees Union. That's who she's trying to satisfy. That's where all the PERS dollars are going. We need a constitutional conservative governor, and so here's a slogan from last time, and we're going to use it again. Enough is enough. It's time for Bruce Cuff. So enough. Time for Cuff.